I'm joined now with Frank Orzechowski from SS&C Eze. SS&C Eze won the category for Best Buy-Side Order Management System. Frank, first of all, congratulations. And this is something that's voted on by our readers, so it's not a judging panel or anything like that. What does that mean that our readers, your clients, came through and voted for you guys?
Well, that's a huge part of why we're so proud to have won this, as we have in previous years, that our users took time to vote for us as Eze, as SS&C Eze. I would say it's not just pride, though, it's gratitude. We're grateful for users who engage with us, not just in voting, but on an everyday basis, whether that's allowing us to be part of defining their strategic growth plans or jointly becoming familiar with each other when they get to call on an operational everyday basis, our focused and familiar client service team, and that's a huge beneficial aid to have that familiarity. Yep. For the R&D teams that I represent as product management, I've often said that when it comes to what product we build, we're only as good as our users are at sharing their insights into their business, their challenges, and they've been quite open with that in the past year and in all the years in the past, and that's led to a much better product, in my opinion. So I'm grateful to all of them.
Let's talk a little bit about, so looking at the trends, obviously the order management space is a competitive field. What are the greatest trends that right now are facing your clients?
Well, there are many to list, and I'll try to be brief. I think at the top, we continue to see demands for investor transparency, for increased regulation on both sides of the Atlantic and on the other side of the Pacific. And I think we see an increased need for differentiation in the asset management space, particularly on the active side. So all of that for us has meant a very dynamic and changing roadmap. I would say that we're very well advantaged by having been in that mindset for a while. It's a dynamic market. The product is therefore dynamic as well. And the market doesn't just ask for that, doesn't just request that, it deserves it, and I think needs it with the state of change that the industry is going through.
Let's talk about, so obviously as you talk about this change that the industry is going through, what are some of the enhancements that you guys have made to the offering to help address some of those challenges? Yeah,
well, first of all, it's really not that far ago in the rearview mirror that MiFID II was probably our biggest example of regulatory change was in the rearview mirror. So the transparency reporting requirements of trade and transaction reporting, we've continued to refine with our clients with a better understanding of what the regulation actually means. That's been a real active part of what any OMS who's serving MiFID II customers and those who want regulatory equivalents in other parts of the world have had to adapt to. So I would say refining. MiFID II is the first of what we've been changing. We continue to believe that part of the differentiation, and see, in fact, part of the differentiation is an increased number of SMAs. And that's really in all types of asset managers. So we've been hard at work to improve workflows, many of them rules-based, where we're going to continue to invest. Maybe we'll get to that in a little bit. But also just faster workflows that allow you to handle an increased number of SMAs as seamlessly with as much operational efficiency as you have before you grew, before you differentiated your strategy in this way. And finally, underpinning regulatory compliance, investor transparency is compliance. We've invested a lot in our compliance capabilities, particularly pre-trade. And Eze OMS is a centerpiece of what's called Eze Investment Suite, which has accounting capabilities in the middle and back office. It has also an advanced trading tool with great liquidity access capabilities in Eze EMS. And we've been taking the core competencies of the OMS, allocations, position checking, and most importantly, pre-trade compliance, and very carefully, with as little disruption as possible, inserting pre-trade compliance throughout the workflow. We've been active on that, and we have a great framework. We're continuing to refine that going forward.
And obviously, the big announcement last year was that SS&C was buying Eze software. You guys had won this category previously as Eze software. Looking ahead, what does this pairing mean for clients? What can they expect from this, kind of as you guys get used and kind of integrate systems and merge everything together?
Well, I have to say, first of all, that being able to say SS&C in front of Eze is a thrill for me and all of the rest of the leadership team at Eze. We could not have had an acquisition that was more strategic or tactically helpful at any level and in any way. It's been a great and warm welcome. What I always point to is with such a breadth and depth of investment lifecycle capability, it's our responsibility now to find the great ideas that provide value and really to separate them from the merely good ideas. And that's a great place to be in as a product manager, even as a client service team. But no, it's highly refreshing to be around people who we've talked to for a while in many cases, like our colleagues at SS&C Advent, who are here today as part of this ceremony, and not just speak the same language that we always have, but speak the same language with the same direction and purpose. And that's particularly something we're looking to maximize efficiency between OMS and Geneva going forward. I would say in general, as part of SS&C and as part of how we've always developed our product, it's really important for us not just to continue to deliver features that allow portfolio managers to enter trades directly. We'll be continuing to invest in that, eliminate what is sometimes a literal game of telephone, especially when compliance comes up. We are a investment suite. The OMS is part of investment suite. Those products of ours are designed, built, tested, released together to work best together. But we're highly cognizant of the fact that we've got a rich platform, a rich ecosystem, I should say, around our platform. So we're continuing to invest in APIs for external access to make it as quick and easy as possible. We've adopted a mentality in Eze OMS of leveraging RESTful API technologies and design patterns, which has been pretty popular, and we're looking forward to building on that. And finally, we're going to continue to have a rules-based approach. We found over time that anyone who really gets the maximum operational efficiency out of a system finds rules that are specific to them that mean you don't need to have a click on a screen. You can just keep going through a given workflow if you have something running in the background. Now, for us, I'll admit, in the past, that was customization. These days, we're continuing to invest in rules-based frameworks so that it's something that the user has in his or her hands to go and handle themselves. I'll make one last comment, if you don't mind, which is it's increasingly important.
This is your show. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's increasingly important to us to think about not just what we deliver, but how and when we deliver it. Yeah. And a big part of that has been really an institutionalization of our 6-week agile, incremental, high-quality release process that we've been tuning over the past couple of years. And while that's a process we're proud of, it's much more important to focus on the fact that we have more clients on a head version of the OMS than we ever had before. We have increasing evidence and really the definitive majority of our clients using cloud deployment technologies at this point. All of this to say we've got OMS customers on a head version taking advantage of all the features we push out regularly and able to stay up with all of those capabilities going forward.
Frank, it sounds like you guys got a lot of good stuff coming out for the year ahead, so maybe we'll see you back here next year.
Yes, stay tuned, and thank you very much to everyone involved in this award. Thank you.